Yeah, I took some heat when I said something about shell beds. You thought I'd,
really?
stomped on a bunny or something. Well, I mean, there's a lot of excitement about it, There really is, especially with the younger folks, and I want to be excited too about it, but I want to know what's for real, because me and you, we've heard a lot of sales pitches, so I contacted Dr. Kirk Weinmiller. Yeah. Let me tell you what he is. He is this guy. He's down at the Department of Wildlife and Fisheries Sciences, and it's the program of Ecology and Evolutionary Biology, Aquatic Ecology, and this is at Texas A&M University. I got referred to him from my son-in-law. He's a professor down there, and he says, start with this guy and go down. So he must be the head honcho down there in this. He's got degrees from Miami, Ohio, and a PhD from UT. Multiple publications. You can go on his site, and I'll show you what his deal looks like. He was nice enough. That's his site right there, and of course here's all the publications, and it goes on, and I mean you can scroll all the way down through here if you're curious. Now, I mean, and I'm just saying this is just one source. Right. I'm gonna look at some more stuff, but I always like to know what's the real deal. I mean, my maps have been known to be kind of close, and I'd like to be kind of close on this, but basically I just wrote him this letter and wanted to ask him what his opinion was on shell beds, And I'm not going to read this whole letter, but what I will do is I will send this out to members, that they can read this, and really I'm just looking for an answer. I'm not trying to. I'm glad somebody's making people excited about Lake Fork, and I'm going to jump on that bandwagon if I can, But basically, and I'm just going to give us what he basically says. As far as he knew, there's no specific studies on shell beds, and this guy should be aware of some of that. You'd think he'd have access, but basically, he gives a viewpoint as a aquatic ecologist, and his suspicion is that if there is enough structural complexity associated with these mussel shells, then likely that would support invertebrates like insect larvae, amphipods, and perhaps even crawfish. Then likely, largemouth bass and other species, sunfish and that sort of stuff, would come in there. One kicker about this, it was really eye-opening to me. He says shad would not be attracted to mussel beds. Not for food. They feed off of zooplankton and detritus on the substrate. They may come in there for shelter. But that shell bed would have to have some kind of structure that would support it. So. And I'm kind of reading into this that actually it can't just be a flat shell bed. It actually should have some kind of structure to it, And so, basically, it says, my guess is that mussel beds might be areas with good food availability for certain small fishes that feed on aquatic invertebrates, and perhaps this attracts bass to these areas. I would not doubt it. But they probably serve this same function in the same manner as other submerged structures such as woody debris, aquatic vegetation, boat docks, and perhaps not as effectively. So having said that, it might be the case that the shell beds might be easier to fish a lure than some of the other more complex structures. So I mean, that's basically it, and there's the kicker is there's no studies. I wish there was some studies on this, and And these, like I say, this is not the only source. I'm going to look and see what else. There's some other people out there that I think there's something to this, but from my standpoint is I don't want to spend a year shooting shell beds on the lake unless there's really, I know what needs to be shot.
Yeah.
So if I find a shell bed that's got some structural integrity to it, and looks like it might be valid, I'm going to shoot them, But otherwise, they're going to be on the list with other stuff, I don't see a high priority right now for them.
Well, where would you go to look for a shell bed?
Well, that's the other part, is how do you actually locate them? And I actually have some underwater camera, an underwater camera. I could actually use that. Some people, I think, are using some of the the better sonar equipment that they've got nowadays that will show some things like that. So there's some of that. Now I don't think this guy has any access to locations and that sort of stuff. Right. That doesn't mean they hadn't been done. It just he's not aware of it. But I thought you'd be interested in seeing that. I have not forgot about it. And there was some people that got really almost bent out of shape. Not too bad, but it's like, oh, you don't question shell beds. Well, I question whether the people that come to the bass weigh-in are telling me the truth about what color lure they use, and last week, we was at Thursday's meeting, I was hearing some watermelon orange, and I was going like, okay, and I'm sure I have no doubt they used that, but it struck me as, like a cotton candy answer. So, but anyway, Dr. Weinmiller, that's probably pretty low on his list, is figuring out shell beds for us, but I did try, that's the whole thing, so at any rate, this week, I gotta tell you, last week I was gonna come to the lake on Tuesday. I loaded that boat up and I took out of here and I went around the corner up there and got up the old folks home, went down the hill down over on 42, and I got down to the bottom of the hill. And when you go down that hill, that bridge makes a little bumpy transition. When I hit that bump, my boat came loose from the back of the truck. And let me tell you, that never happened before in the 38 years I've been doing this. It is not something you'd ever want to repeat.
It's kind of scary, I would think.
Boy, and I looked in the rearview mirror, and it had a big blue cloud of smoke back there, and I knew it had popped off the deal, but I couldn't figure out where's that smoke coming from. Well, that road over there's no place to turn, get on the side, and I managed to get off, and I got back there, and I looked back down there, and what was the blue smoke was that it has a spare tire on the side, and that was the lowest thing.
And it was dragging.
It was dragging. And my safety chains, one of them was broke, and I had one safety chain. It was held by one safety chain now, and I got to look. I can tell you what, if that thing come loose and hit somebody, the boat don't bother me, but somebody getting hurt in it, that would be bad. Scary, but I managed to get it back on the back of the truck. And limp home. I tied it down real good. When I got home, I redid the whole back end of that trailer system, and I think what it was actually a defect in that hitch. It's either a defect or they installed it wrong. Right. And I bought a used boat, so I don't know who put that on. It might have been wear and tear. I don't know, but I completely redid everything, and I even redid the safety chains that went back in there. But that, let me tell you something. That's a hard lesson to learn there. But
that is.
Anyway, you've got coming through here this week. Now you're doing a hardcore this week. We talked about we kind of got a little bit confused last week because you had so many tournaments going on. But this week you got Thursday is the day for hardcore.
Right.
And you're looking real good on your temperatures. You look right here. It looks like they're all going to be above 50 degrees from here on. So you're looking spawn. I mean, it's right on us,
And next Thursday's probably
the biggest day.
The biggest day.
Yeah, exactly.
Which will be LFA, and we can fish anywhere because today 44. Right. I think the low this morning was 32 here.
Yeah. Now is this an average temperature that they put out? I wonder this 44 degrees, you know, because they have.
I always take it to be that's the current temperature.
Current?
It's today, yeah. Now, I don't
Well,
know.
that's for a low at night. I mean, that's the low.
Well, it could be the low that's. All these things make me wonder. Weatherbug, the way they do it,
Uh-huh.
I think it. Okay, summary. There we go. I take the second one here, 6443. That's tonight.
Okay.
So that would agree with that. That's going to be
pretty
the
close,
temperature tonight. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Right.
Yeah. Okay.
But you know that temperature fluctuates during the night, so I'm guessing. I got a weatherman, believe it or not. I can call. He's up in Illinois right now, and he actually works for the Department of Defense, and that's what they do is weather. I could ask him. I'm sure that he'd probably tell me the right thing. But are you pre-fishing this week? Wednesday?
Yeah, I'm going up. I'm leaving this morning. Leaving about 1 o'clock. I'm going to fish a little bit this afternoon,
and then
go out and try to figure something out tomorrow. Because I think with the cold water we've had, I just can't. I have a hard time believing there's any fish moved up and stayed.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to figure out what to do Thursday.
That little odd snap came in here. It's really kind of messed that up. But so this is the east 1/3 you're fishing this week. So I'm guessing where Glade Bay and maybe
Glade's probably the
one to be warmer than maybe Running Creek. You're not going to go back to Running Creek back there or anything.
I went into Coffee Creek last week and it's still
messed up.
Oh God, it's just unbelievably muddy.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Glade and a buddy of mine went into Running Creek and it was quite muddy also, and he didn't do any good. So Glade is cleared up nicely. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into Glade in an area that I know the fish spawn, just out on some flats, and I'm just going to sit there and throw weedless or weightless stuff, and just work it back real slow and see if I can find one that's just wandering through.
Yeah.
And hopefully Thursday that'll be something that I can do and catch a few fish. But it's going to be a tough one.
You expect it to be pretty rough.
Yeah, I really am.
Probably will. Won't be like last week. You had that one day, that pre-day that was so good. So.
Yeah.
But so you'll be in Glade, back up in here and regular deal. So
the middle field is where I do the most of what we're talking about.
Right. Yeah.
The guy I fished with last week lives over here in the east field.
Oh, he's got a place over here.
Yeah, and he said the fish were schooling late in the afternoon, 5 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
Until dark. But he said they don't do anything until about 5 o'clock. So that tells you.
Well, that leaves y'all out because your term is over at 3. So
doesn't help at all. Yeah.
No. Yeah. You know where they were.
Yeah.
last night.
Yeah. Very true.
Yeah. Well, things should pick up after this week.
Yeah.
So it should be a wild ride, I would think. So
I'm ready for it.
I bet. Yeah. So now you're not planning on doing anything different for us other than what you just said. What else could you do besides that? In Glade.
Oh, you can go drift out through there throwing a jerkbait.
Yeah.
Rogue. Of course, Cinco falls under what I was talking about, where you put the poles down, just sit there and park on an area for a while and see what happens.
Yeah. At times, but that's fork.
That's right.
Fork is a different animal. The crazy stuff that goes on up there, and some people are completely fanatical about that stuff, and I don't.
They own that spot.
Yeah.
It amazes me how they'll come in and you're fishing it and they just get all irate because you're fishing their fish. Well, shit, I've been fishing these fish for 10 years.
I never pulled one out had your name on it.
I haven't seen that. Like the guy that does the legend, I can't remember his name. He says, "I didn't see your name on the mailbox."
mean, life is too short for that. I mean, why are you even up there fishing if you're gonna be like that? You know, it's just. So you're gonna launch at that ramp right there at the.
I'll launch at 5:15.
5:15. Yeah. I may come up there one day. I don't know if it'd be tomorrow. Or,
well, if you want to come up and go fishing tomorrow, you're welcome.
Well, I'm gonna be shooting for it. I might see you up there.